Hello everybody, welcome back to the Crochet Foundation series. Today is day 4 of the series and I'm super excited to get into this next stitch. Today we're going to be going over the slip stitch. It is a very versatile stitch and I'm so excited to get into all of its uses as well as how to make it today. So let's go ahead and get started. Now today I want to do something a little bit different. I'm going to show you how to do the slip stitch so that you can see what it looks like, and then I want to show you some of the uses of it because it's not like the other stitches that we've covered so far. So I want to go over what it's used for as well as how you can implement it in your crochet in the future. So let's go ahead and get started with how to make it. Alright, so just like in every other video, first we're going to go over some of the materials that we're going to need to be able to perform the stitch. So first, of course, we're going to be starting with our yarn, and like I mentioned in the previous part, I'm going to be using the panel that we used before so that I can clearly show exactly how to use the slip stitch. So we already have some really neat stitches that we can use up here so that I can show you how to use it a lot easier. Continuing on, I'm also going to be using my same size hook that I've been using throughout the series. This is the 4mm hook. I got this one at Hobby Lobby. It's really nice. I really like the way that it feels. It has this little indent right here so that my thumb is comfortable for a long period of time, and honestly it's just overall really comfortable. As well, at the end, if you plan on cutting off your loose end, we have scissors, as well as we are going to need a darning needle. So let's go ahead and get started. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and get started with our slip stitch. So the thing that I find that's really special about this stitch is that every stitch that we've done previously to this one has had a height in terms of, like, the single crochet was 1 chain tall. The half double was 1 chain tall as well. The double was 2 chains tall. The treble is now 3 chains tall. What's really interesting about the slip stitch is that it doesn't have a height. What happens is you're going to go ahead and fasten on the yarn to your hook, and we're going to go right into this first little gap, okay? And we're going to draw up a loop like we've been doing. And right here, it's looking a lot like a single crochet so far, but it's not. What we're going to do is we're going to take that loop that we just drew through the hole and pull it through this one as well. And it can be a little bit hard for this first one, but just with a little bit of practice, we're definitely going to get it together. Wonderful. And that's a slip stitch. And what you can see is that it's very tiny. It's literally just looping the holes over one another, or the loops over one another, so that it just creates that sort of border look. And that's one of the uses that we're going to go over a little bit further into this video. But let's go ahead and make another one. So into this next space, we'll go ahead and draw the string, pull it through there, and then we'll pull it again through this other loop that we already have. Wonderful. And we'll just go ahead and continue that same exact pattern all the way down so that we get good practice from this stitch. Oh, my yarn's going everywhere. Wonderful. And that is a row of slip stitches. So it looks very pretty and it's very small, and what it does is it just creates that this loop effect at the top of whatever you're making. And what you'll see is a lot of people will end up going down the sides to make that exact same thing so that they have a pretty border compared to whatever this is currently. Alrighty, so let's just go ahead and work back down the line that we got. We are going to still chain 1 because we need that little tiny bit of space to be able to come back around or turn the project around. So we're gonna go ahead and just come right back into here and draw up a loop, pull it through. And as per usual, that first stitch is a little bit loose, which is a-okay, but we're just gonna keep going down the line. And you're going to notice that these gaps compared to the previous rows are a little bit smaller, and you will be able to identify them pretty easily after practicing a few times. So I wouldn't worry too much about that if that is looking like something that's going to be a challenge at this time for you. But also, because it is a smaller loop to go through, you do have to use a little bit more force to get through, and then a little bit more force to pull back through. Wonderful, and that is 2 rows of slip stitches worked into this panel. So it looks nice. It depends on the type of yarn that you're going to use that it's going to look better or worse. I don't know if I prefer it with this yarn, but yeah. Now for the remainder of this video, I want to talk a little bit about the uses of the slip stitch, because as we just saw, it's not a complex stitch at all. You are drawing up a loop and then just pulling it all the way through. And really it's one singular motion once you get it down. Whereas with the treble crochet, it was multiple pull throughs. So what is special specifically about the slip stitch? The special thing about the slip stitch is the fact that it almost creates a knit-like effect where there's not really much complexity to the stitch itself. It really, all it's doing is just building a tiny bit more onto the row that it's attached to. And that's exactly how knit is created. It's by drawing up loops from the previous row. Whereas with crochet, we're working side to side, creating these bars is what we call them. So because of that, the slip stitch is absolutely essential if you ever want to do projects in the round. Some examples of projects that you would do in the round are amigurumi or stuffed animals. If you're working on certain types of clothing, you'll definitely be using a lot of slip stitches there. And speaking of clothing, when people are making ribbing for sweaters, shirts, or other items like that, they're using the slip stitch for the ribbing. So the cuff of their sweaters, the cuff of like the bottom of the shirt or wherever. And what you'll also see a lot of is that a lot of people use the slip stitch to be able to attach different panels together. Some people, like myself, I use darning needles, but a lot of people find a lot of ease in just using the slip stitch whenever they want to connect 2 panels together. So in the future, we're going to be making granny squares together, and when we want to put those together so that we can make a larger project together, such as a blanket, a bag, a sweater, etc., we can use the slip stitch to be able to attach those items together. And I think that that's absolutely awesome. So I don't want to bore you to death talking about all the uses of this amazing stitch. As you can tell, I'm in love with this craft, and I'm so glad that you are here along in this journey to also potentially one day enjoy it just as much as me. So thank you for tuning in. I'm really glad that we have basically covered all like the stitches themselves that we're going to need to for this course. But we're going to be getting into crocheting in the round tomorrow. And honestly, it's one of my favorite skills that I was able to learn. Once I started doing it, my crochet absolutely took off. So I'll see you tomorrow, and we are going to start crocheting in the round and learning about increases.